Do you know what time it is?
It's Clobberin time!
So far. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us for this special edition of Comic Book Clobberin Time. Hey, it's hot. It's the middle of summer. Had some projects to get done this morning. Got those out of the way. Got a shower. I'm presentable. Here with my pal, Coach Vic.
And did you say it's hot?
I did.
It's humid.
And as always, we've got Alan Schell joining us. How you doing, Al?
Hi, and this is Punch Out.
Punch Out.
Punch Out.
And we have a very special set of guests this morning.
What?
They
What
gave,
is
us,
about this?
they gave us a shout out on their show a while back, and we talked to them, and we're going to do what we're calling a home and home arrangement, just like college football. They're visiting here, then we're going to visit on their channel. Let's bring in Will and Sean, the hero and the kid. How are you doing, guys?
What's happening, guys? Thanks for having us.
You bet.
And we've never met.
No, we haven't.
We have not talked before this moment. How are you, Will?
I'm doing good.
How are you, Sean?
I'm doing awesome now that I get to see the Burt Reynolds toy.
I told him. I said, it looks like Burt Reynolds. They're like, man, no, don't pay attention.
You guys have a good workout this morning?
Not today. We went to our jiu-jitsu class for the first time since March, and I can barely move.
Did you throw you around with that? Or?
I did my unusual workout this morning. So we got a couple people joining us in the chat. Patrick Kelly, good to see you. And Nelson Hennessy. Hey, it's nice to see you. Thanks for stopping in.
Patrick Swayze?
Nelson Hennessy. It's a new name. It's good to see you around. So how's the week been treating you guys as far as comics go? Are you guys, do you go to the store weekly, or do you go regularly, or have you been lately?
Yeah, we usually stay on top of the new comic books pretty good. We did cut back. We used to get upwards of 20 books a week, and now we're between 5 to 10 books a week, and we start collecting, older books.
Sure.
So,
yeah. I've almost my entire collecting career, I've had a pull list, and that goes back to my first pull list was at All Star Comics here in a local shop. Went out of business years ago, but that would have been I remember I was working and driving my sophomore year in high school, junior year of high school, something like that. And I've had a pull list virtually ever since.
Yeah.
I don't go as often as I used to. And I don't buy nearly as many new books as I used to. I think I'm down to probably 15 titles. I just added a few.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a thing going where my wife and I buy the books, and Will catalogs the books, and he always gets mad about it.
Catalogs them.
I have to scan them, and then we have 15 boxes all in my room. So my room is literally all filled up with short boxes. So I have to go through and remember what box it is. So
I got a question. You guys buy doubles? 2 of everything?
Very rarely. Only, if something's we know it's going to boom. But for the most part, just singles. Yeah.
Do you read the books, or do you just put them in slips?
We used to be right on top of, doing reviews and all that kind of stuff, but then we got away from it. We're really enjoying the collecting. We've been working hard on our content and that kind of stuff, and the editing takes up so much time now.
Oh,
yeah.
It does. Yeah. I did edited videos when I started, and it was I didn't get into this game to do edited videos. I knew it would take time to do, especially what you want to do it right. And there's more I'd like to do as far as on the production end that I just haven't gotten to. But
And anybody that was here before could tell that it takes him a while to do something. He had to go make a lunch for his daughter, and left us here for like 2 hours. But I did find out an interesting thing that Will's a big fan of Venom.
Yeah.
That's why he got into comics. That's interesting.
That's cool.
No,
And about
What?
you gonna start bragging about the people you interviewed?
Ryan Stegman, Scott Young. So,
Ooh, you can
goes.
call him Scott. Did you ask him how come there's no Black Panther variant? This is why I can't interview people.
Yeah.
You got all the uncomfortable questions, Dan.
Look, Scotty.
What's up with that?
so I remember Ryan Stegman. He used to do GI Joe, and right, he was a big artist on GI Joe in the early 2000s.
Yeah, but he's been doing like all the big books for Spider-Man now these days.
Yeah, I know Ryan Otley's also doing Spider-Man. Right?
Yeah, he does the regular title.
I miss Invincible. That's miserable. Hold on.
So, Al, you picked up a book this week that you said it was done by a friend of yours. You did
It's
some
done by
posts
my
about it.
friend Sam Royal. That's his working name.
Mhm.
So, anyways, he's the one that colored all the pages for this guy's stuff for Punch Out. The book I did for was Walter Harris. He was the colorist. He did all the backgrounds, all the coloring, and it was beautiful. So a while back, I was talking to him. I was like, "Hey, I want to do a comic strip, weekly, not a weekly thing because I can't even do a yearly thing, but and I was like, oh, come up with some ideas or something, and I never did anything, but I think he had tons of ideas, and so he does his own thing, and I'm proud of him. So what I did was I ordered it. It's called the Shoom.
The Shoom?
This
Okay, let's make it big.
right here by Sam J. Royal. Like the cover, he painted cover and all that goodness. Don't mind my oil fingernails because I've been working on my car. So anyways, he does a lot of cool stuff. I mean, it's 3 stories, okay? 3 like mini stories. I mean, it's pretty fun. I like that turtle in the background. This turtle over here.
Yeah, turtle, a rabbit, and a sword on one page.
Yeah, and then it's kind of like different stories. It's like you got this like a yin and yang thing here because they go yin and yang, right? And then it goes to kind of like a comedy superhero sword thing. I think he was just drawn like I'm just gonna have a man after my own heart because he's just gonna start drawing stuff and go crazy. And then there's like just different stuff. There's 3 different stories, and he paints it up sometimes, and then he flats it sometimes.
Huh.
You can find. I guess he killed Mr. Rogers in it. I don't know. That's killing Mr. Rogers. Anyways, it's just I don't know. If you want to help a friend out, help someone out. I mean, and it's good art. The stories are quick, but the quality of the comic book is really well done. The pages, it's very cardstock,
Right.
and then the inside is this is probably the best quality comic I've seen from indies in a long time, and it's not your usual size of comic. Okay, I'll show you. See,
Okay.
it's more like a brochure almost. But the fact that he did it, if anybody knows, you were talking about editing earlier. That's a pain in the butt. Imagine trying to do a comic book. It's easy. It's easier to do someone else's stuff when someone's going, "Hey, I'll pay you for this," and you're like, "Okay, cool, I'll do that." And even then, getting it done is a pain in the Watusi. But doing something for yourself, breaking your own back for your own means and all that stuff, it's just a drag out. So the fact that Sam pulled it off, he did it, and it's quality. That's the one key thing. It's quality, and it's a beautiful done. It's a beautiful art. You know, the pictures really tell the story. And I mean, if you could check him out, Sam J. Royal, he's on Instagram. How many of those he's got for sale? But you know,
I'll add the link to his Instagram in the description after we're done.
And I actually have copies for you and Vic.
Okay, cool.
Ooh, free stuff.
Yeah.
See, it's free comic book week, isn't it?
Oh, sorry, Vic. You can no. I can send one to Will and Sean too. I'll get one sent to you.
That's the thing that I like with a lot of indie comic books. They get the paper right, the card stock, the paper inside, and I wish Marvel would do that. You get Marvel and DC that if they do that, then they charge another $1, maybe $2 on top of it. And
right, Marvel's the worst. They do the self covers.
Yeah,
it's the flimsy paper and stuff.
Well, the one thing about indie guys is they have to charge probably more than them because they're it's coming out of pocket really, and more you got Disney paying for that bill, and you might find an indie book that's $5 or $10 sometimes.
Yeah. And I want to shout out to Splash Page Comics that stopped in and C. Woodard. Good to see you, C. Wood.
Now, since we're talking indie, I feel like this is the chance I get to bring up my company.
Okay.
I feel like I'm part owner of Boom because most of the stuff I bought are Boom. I love Boom. Except for Keanu Reeves, Bill, or is he Ted? I don't know.
It's Ted.
Ted. I can't believe he's ready to go for Boom. I mean, he's supposed to come out in a few months. Berserker, I think it's called. I'm curious. I'm curious.
Yeah.
Now, you are surprised that he would enter the field, or that Boom would hire him as a creative?
Well, he's got his own right. He's got his own band. He's a creative guy.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a band.
Motorcycle company.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was the sound man, but still.
I'm part of the Archies.
Nobody's offered to pay me to write a book. I mean,
Right.
with a co-writer too. I mean, so basically, Ken's like, hey, you know what? We got 5 guys. You write the story.
I'm sure he came to. Well, people came to him from Boom and said, "Hey, would you be interested?" And he said, "Yeah, I got some ideas." So what's wrong with that?
Hey, I ain't mad at him. Get paid, especially in the pandemic. I mean,
Keanu, he's gotten a real hit or miss kind of reception from people. People really hold some grudges against him, but if you look at his wide scale or his wide body of work, it's more quality than not.
I mean, his best acting was in that football movie.
I just realized I look like a member of the Nostromo from Alien. I'm gonna go in here. I heard a noise. I'm gonna get murdered by an alien. Like a big.
It's either that or Magnum PI.
Nah. Yeah, I'm like a schlubby friend. Come on, Magnum. I'm gonna go get some biscuits and some gravy. I'll be right back.
Yeah, there was a time a while back, I want to say maybe 4 to 6 months ago, where Keanu Reeves sat down with Donnie Cates, and everybody was saying that they had like a falling out or something. Donnie Cates said, what was it, something at the end of the interview or something like that kind of got him riled up. But now that he's talking about the comic book, I wonder if the whole meeting was just, ideas of what to do with the book and that kind of stuff, because everybody was going crazy that he was going to come into the MCU, Keanu Reeves, to do like Ghost Rider or something like that. But sitting down with Donnie Cates and now coming out with a comic book, that kind of, makes a little bit of sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, everybody, when people hear of, any actor coming talking to a comic book, well, especially somebody involved in the big 2 comics, they always assume it's got to be about movies. But yeah, could be talking about comics too.
Yeah.
So
one thing I think a lot of people are like, oh, he can't write or draw. It's like, we don't know. I think all the ideas that are floating out there in the universe that'll never be heard or never be seen, we just need to give it a chance,
Mm-hmm.
Let's give it a chance. I'm gonna mute my mic as the phone rings. So you guys talking much?
Because I got some great ideas for some books. I just wish I knew an artist that could draw it for me.
Out. Can't draw it. I mean, Al was talking earlier about what it takes for an artist to sit down and do a comic book.
What show did you bring us on to?
As an artist that loves the comic book art form and can draw and can emulate the comic book style, to sit down in front of a stack of pages every month, 22 large white pieces of paper that you got to fill, and then when you just know when you're done, you got to fill them again. Man, it's a lot of work.
I'm digital now, baby. I'm digital. I don't mess around with paper anymore. I'll tell you that much. Digital.
Yeah, every once in a while, like on Facebook, I'll see like Todd McFarlane, doing his work on there, and how easy it is digitally now. You just hit a button and kind of fills up the area and all that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, it's also like you can erase easier.
Really,
like, I totally messed up this whole arm here. This guy's face looks like he was dropped as an infant. Now you can just hit back. Okay,
you go ahead.
Well, one of the things we've talked about is I've gotten the message that people want to see me draw on screen. So that's what we've been talking to a kid here, and we're going to go on their show, and they're going to do their job of interviewing us, and Al and I are going to draw while they interview us. So, and we'll be along to talk. Because
I don't get to draw.
You want to draw? You can draw.
Wait, Will was gonna talk, and you went over him like.
Well, I was gonna say, you were talking about how you were someone could be drawing, and then it looks like his face was beaten or something. When we did our top 20, we put bloopers in at the end, but Dad only put the laughing part in. So he didn't put the part that we were talking about. It what led up to the laughing. We were looking at Amazing Spider-Man 252, like the cover swipe of Amazing Fantasy number 15, where he's holding the two people. The kid in his left arm, the boy in his left arm, looks like his face hit a building on the way down.
I thought you were going somewhere else with that. I thought you were going to talk about the Bueller thing and the snake eyes, the Layfield.
Liefeld chin and
how it looks like he cut his arm off.
But his arm is still there.
It's like a big spike sticking out.
I've really heard good things about this guy's artwork. How do you get a job?
Rob Blackcomb?
Yeah.
Started young.
Yeah.
Well, then he's got passion and he's got energy. And Splash Page Comics is saying, is it really drawn when the machine is helping? It's like it's not helping. It's still my style. It's still drawing the thing. It's just I can easily erase it. It's either having a clear page or having a page full of scribbles, and then I got to keep drawing over that and erasing it. It's a completely different thing.
Well, where I was going with that is that what I have found is that I use the computer to cheat even when I'm drawing by hand, because I did a piece for Man Cave nice. Comics.
Yeah, that was really nice.
I kind of he wanted me to copy the layout of Detective 29, and I did a drawing of Catwoman in there, and she's kicking Robin, and so I'm drawing it. And I'm like, I love everything about this Catwoman figure except her leg is way too short. I'm like, okay, so I could erase what I've done and redraw a leg. And a guy like Jim Lee, I've seen him do videos where he'll draw something, erase a leg, and he'll draw it in less than a minute. I just don't have that kind of motor memory. That's how you do it in motor memory.
No, there's also a difference of drawing all the time and then drawing when you get off your butt.
That's what I'm saying. So my cheat is I like this drawing I've got, scan it, take it into Photoshop, grab that leg, make it longer, print it out, and trace it.
That's so much more work. That's so much more work. Now, listen, I'm not saying I don't draw, but I can draw on paper. I'm not like illiterate. And, it's just, when I learned to draw digitally, it took me so much. I was like, wait a minute, because it was ghosting me. I was just like drawing here, and all of a sudden it would be like, woo, curve. Like, wait, where am I going? You got to see my early Green Lantern Batman pictures I was drawing. I was like, oh, and there's nothing better than the feel of a pencil in your fingers, you know, and then seeing all that. I'm a big pencil fan. Like, I don't even like inks are cool, but to see the pencils of the masters and to see John Byrne, to see Neil Adams, to see Jack Kirby's pencils, and I'm like, whoa, it puts me in awe. So like, I'm not down on pencils. Okay. I will do it if I have to. If I was to get like a blank, even though I don't like those sketch covers, man, the paper, that's the one thing. The digital is the same consistency. It's the same thickness. You don't have to worry about it. You're going to get the nice, what you like drawing on all the time. When you get paper, it's got to be a certain cardstock. It's got to be a certain weight, or it's brutal. It's brutal. I can't stand Bristol board. It eats up everything. So, and then the Mona Lisa. I'm going to draw the Mona Lisa, but I'm going to make her prettier.
So Splash Page, I've left your comment up here so I can come back with this. So it depends. Art is in the eye of the beholder to begin with, but if you like Perillo or Art Germ or
Peach
Mimosa.
Momoko.
I think a lot of people's digital now, man.
Yeah,
I don't think
all that stuff is done digitally. They might start with a pencil sketch, but they might not. I mean, some artists
maybe breakdowns,
draw right on the screen.
And I'll say the Mona Lisa isn't really that good of a piece of art. It's the art that makes it that good. People are more in love with the artist than they are the art. That's just my hot take.
Okay, name one other piece Leonardo da Vinci painted.
Oh, that was a sculpture statue. Didn't he paint the ceiling of the church?
Michelangelo.
Raphael.
He made
Leonardo. Donatello.
See, hot takes, you don't have to back them up with facts.
We're getting into out. Let's not get too political here.
Will this one work in school? Just so you know. But
and thanks for Will for telling me to wear this hat. It's so stylish. Thank you.
Welcome.
It completes the ensemble. C. Wood says, as much as I do enjoy digital art, I do really enjoy pencils and ink much better in the comic format.
So how can you tell when it's printed? They mean like you like getting the page, like the ink, you know,
like having the original piece of art in front of you. So
yeah, because it can be printed. It could look just like an ink, pencils and inks. It can look just like.
Would that be newer books versus older books? And basically, I would imagine all the newer stuff is digital. Right?
I think we stumbled into a hot debate here, man. What do you think, John?
Oh yeah.
What do you think?
I watch original Drink and Draw all the time, and I've said it to Hood that he should do a show just like that when he does start drawing live and everything. And but I do like it when they all make fun of Jeff Johnson on there for drawing with a pencil, and it's always so loud and everything. But I kind of like that, sound and watching the art and all that.
We prefer artists to be heard and not seen.
See, and most artists are introverts like me, so
and you don't want him drinking.
The most you get out of me is the art that I put out there.
Well, if you think about it, it makes sense because there's no way I could sit at a table for like 8 hours and just draw.
I wish I had 8 hours so I could sit there and just draw.
He's got to make sandwiches for his kids.
Yeah. How you doing? Hi, LA. Good to see you.
Hi, bro.
All right.
So let's do this pop quiz thing.
Pop quiz.
All right, I'm gonna go get a drink.
It'd be better if you're drunk when they're done.
All right. So
can I steal the answers or
no?
Steal all of mine. Go for it.
Okay.
Oh,
pop quiz. Where's the song?
I haven't gotten to the song.
I wrote the song. I sent it to you.
All right.
Pop quiz.
So,
pop quiz, baby. Pop quiz. There you go.
I'm going to go back and I'm going to grab that audio and we're going to put that in.
Yeah.
Put Clobberin House stationery.
Auto tune that baby.
Yes, you can get this on eBay. So,
Okay,
question number one.
So,
Go ahead.
So we've got 5 questions for Will and Sean, and Sean says he's going to defer all answers to Will. So we'll let you talk amongst yourselves if you want, and settle on answers. And these questions are based on, since you guys are into weightlifting and all that, we've decided
Slanging and bacon.
to play to your strength,
actually answer.
pun intended, and do a pop quiz on feats of strength within comic books. So this is all within the pages of comic books. Of course, you're going to know all the characters. I have some commentary as we go on a few of them. So, but I'll let Coach take it away with question 1.
Which Marvel deity lifted the island of Manhattan by its end? Thor,
No idea.
Hercules, Odin, or Loki?
So he literally was at one end of the island, lifted it up, and he lifted the entire island off the ground.
I think the easy answer is Hercules. I'm going to go with Odin. What do you think?
I'm gonna go Loki. I don't know.
Oh, man. I think the easy answer is Hercules, but I'm going to say Odin.
Okay.
Hercules Mulligan.
Oh, man.
There's a reason why it's Hercules.
I mean, this is Hamilton. It's Hercules.
All right.
I should have. I've actually.
You're overthinking it.
It's a.
That's,
It's a
I'm sweating.
relatively. I say relatively recent. It's 30 years old, but it was an issue I think after the Simonson run, where Thor and Hercules faced off. I'll have to look up that issue number.
Who won?
I mean, they're all friends at the end. That's how Marvel goes. Fight in the middle, they're friends at the end.
Oh, I'd be so upset. I need a winner.
Now, here's the thing, though. We're asking. They're going to be kind of easy questions, so don't try to overthink.
Yeah.
Oh, it's supposed to be Hercules, but I'm going to say this guy. That's
Right.
overthinking it.
Okay.
So just go with just go with your first thought.
Including Earth, how many times has Superman moved a planet in the comics?
What?
What
How many times?
Yeah.
1, 2,
These are all multiple
3,
choice.
or 4 or more. Does this include when he flew around the Earth and spun it backwards?
This is just the comic books.
Oh, that's
not
from the movies.
How many times he's moved the planet?
Move the planet.
Over
I think-
80 years of comics, and you want to know how many times he's moved the planet?
Including Earth. He
I'm gonna
literally
go-
moved heaven or hell.
I'm gonna go 2.
He goes.
2,
Will says 2.
4 or more.
4 or more.
I don't
Out of
know.
all the
Just a
time.
little multiple choice clue for you. If the option is something or more or something or less, that's the answer.
We're going to be the worst trivia guests of all time.
Yes.
So I tried to find the definitive answer.
Yeah, yeah.
And there are 3 documented instances where he's moved planets. He moved Earth twice.
Yeah.
But then there's this one image of Superboy where he's literally towing a row of planets.
Oh.
I'm okay, so who knows?
See, my problem with this whole questioning is that when we do pop quizzes, it's focused on a certain thing.
Yeah.
This is you have to read everything. You have to how many over 80 years, how many times has he moved a planet? And that's the difference. Then you got to go over to Hercules and read this and Marvel. When we're doing it's a specific, it's West Coast Avengers, Milestone Comics, Jack Kirby. Well, Jack Kirby's pretty crazy. But
Well,
anyways.
Thanks for all our excuses.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm the advocate for Will and Sean. I'm advocating that you're too hard on them.
How many times has the Mountain won the world championship?
Oh, man. The world's strongest man?
Yeah.
What's that? I think it's just one time so far.
Were you guys interviewing him or something close to him?
We have a world's strongest man competitor coming on next week.
Nice. See, that's how you get a plug in.
Yeah.
The Hulk, not Hulk Hogan. The Hulk. The Hulk holds the weight of a mountain on the cover of Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars #4. How much does the mountain weigh? 100 million tons, 2 billion tons, 150 billion tons, 5 trillion tons.
It says it right on the cover.
This is right up your alley.
I can't. Come on. I don't know Hulk stuff.
What?
I don't really know that much Hulk
Oh, okay.
stuff. I think it's
You know Secret Wars.
Secret Wars number 4.
So this is the one that's I think it's a pink cover where the Hulk is like.
Why are you looking at me?
He's holding this whole mountain up. All the heroes are under him, and he's holding this mountain up. But it says right in the text on the cover.
Yeah.
100 million, 2 billion, 150 million, or 5 trillion?
150 million.
150 billion?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the answer. Woohoo!
I would have just asked the question, what issue number was this on? You guys are crazy. This is some robot stuff here. Gee whiz,
Got
Jamie.
both of us sweating over here.
I'm not sweating.
You're sweating. Your face is all red. I'm sweating.
Okay.
Which
I'm
DC
sweating.
character has arm wrestled both Superman and Wonder Woman? Batman, Captain Marvel / Shazam, say my name, Martian Manhunter, Connor Kent, Superboy.
Rocky. Over the top.
Over the top, the greatest movie ever made. It should be in schools. It should be taught in schools.
They went about a month where they're going on a marathon of that movie.
When I turn my like this, I'm a machine.
I get way
You know you mean
strong.
business.
Arm wrestled both Superman and Wonder Woman.
Oh,
Wonder Woman.
Your choices again. Remember, don't overthink the question.
Batman, Captain Marvel / Shazam, Martian Manhunter, Connor Kent / Superboy.
Superboy.
going Superboy? You didn't say Batman?
No.
No?
Batman's weak.
Shazam.
Come on, say it.
I just said it.
Shazam.
Superboy.
Shazam.
Saying it.
Oh, I didn't say.
Okay, that
Why
was.
can't you didn't
that was
answer
pulling
any?
teeth.
You didn't
Yep.
answer any.
We're awful at it.
I thought it was gonna be way easier.
You'll
I got a
still get
question.
prizes.
Yeah.
I got a pop question. What is Eddie Brock's girlfriend's name?
Ooh, Will.
This is what? Come on. This is your.
Venom's your
I
book?
have
I knew that one.
I've answered at least.
Venom is your book. You interviewed the artist.
I know this.
Okay, what issue did Sam and Twitch appear in Spawn?
Oh,
First appear.
Yeah, first appearance of Sam and Twitch.
Number 1.
There you go.
That was good.
there you go.
Was that right?
All right.
All right.
See, that's what you got to play to the crowd, guys. You don't have to give these robotic freaking questions about
All right.
how much does 1,250 comics weigh?
All right. Here's one for you.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll have a comment on this before they get answered.
Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 15 places Marvel's heroes in the 4 strength tiers. Put these 4 heroes, in order of each of their tiers. Spider-Man, Captain America, The Thing, Iron Man.
Ooh.
Now, the clue on this one is that I was surprised at the one that's in the top spot. So I wouldn't have thought this person was up there.
The low number is the strongest, right?
What's that?
The low number is the strongest?
Yeah.
Really?
He's surprised too.
I am shocked. Obviously, Luke Cage is in the heroes. We know the answer there.
Right.
He was not top tier.
Oh, man.
So we have Spider-Man, Captain America, The Thing, and Iron Man.
How
Let's
old
start
is
with who you think the weakest of the 4 is.
The weakest of the 4, probably.
Spider-Man.
You think Spider-Man? I think he's going to be like the number 1 pick, I bet.
I know. But he's like.
Remember, a spider can lift like 100 times their weight
I
or
know.
something like
I know. That's why I'm saying.
Who's the weakest of those?
that. Yeah, who's the weakest?
America's really strong. Thing's really strong.
I know who I think it is.
Who do you think is the weakest, Sal?
Now, is it with suit or without armor? Iron Man.
Right.
Well, it's with suit.
It's
Otherwise,
Iron Man.
It's not Iron Man.
If it was Tony Stark, it'd be Tony Stark.
Because I'm saying Captain America.
I'm gonna say Captain America above Iron Man. All right. No. I'm gonna go.
What armor are we talking about?
I'm gonna go Captain America, Iron Man, Thing, and then Spider-Man. What do you think?
I think it's Iron Man, The Thing,
Yeah.
Captain America, Spider-Man.
All right.
All right. Well, the weakest of the group is Captain America. Obviously, it's not the Falcon Captain
I
America.
got one right.
Then we have Spider-Man. I'm
Whoa.
shocked.
Wow.
That leaves The Thing and Iron Man. The Thing is number 2, and Iron Man's the strongest of them all.
Yeah, he's got all the different suits. Like Thing was always weak because he could never beat Hulk, so he knows that.
He always stood toe to toe because he was a tough guy, but didn't have like the brute strength that the Hulk has.
He didn't have any offense, all defense.
Well, Hulk,
My thing is
kind of infinite depending on how angry he is.
I was talking about The Thing.
I think earlier, like if we're talking 60s and 70s, Iron Man wasn't as strong.
Probably right. This was ASM Annual 15. It probably came out. I didn't get the date on it. It looked like it was late 80s or early 90s, probably.
Yeah, I learned all mine from the official Marvel handbooks. They had how much, like 3 tons. I think all the different tons they could lift. So
I'm
I
sure
think
that's probably to help
1,000 pounds.
figure out that list.
Wow.
All right. So the good thing about Pop Quiz is it doesn't matter how much
Yes, it does.
you do. It's how much fun you have, and
Oh yeah.
you guys had fun. And I've got a prize in mind for you, and we'll talk about that when we come on your show.
Woohoo!
So,
Awesome.
Burt Reynolds.
Actually, it looks more like Carl Weathers.
No, I don't. Actually, the customized original Punch Out was the Apollo Creed figure, but when they remade it, they wanted to make it look like Burt Reynolds. So it's great. No joke.
remember reading the stat pages from DC versus Marvel books as a kid and disagreeing with everything. It wouldn't be comics if we couldn't sit here and argue about everything.
Right.
Sure.
I don't. That's the problem with Pop Quiz. It's like when we had that one Pop Quiz off, and it was totally deflated. I was just like, "Well, this is in, huh? Great, okay." Fireworks, man. We need to blow something up for the end of Pop Quiz.
Really? And he had a shot at what's her face? Yeah, Jane Grey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm shocked.
So you can't let Hugh Jackman influence your take.
Hugh Jackman's like 5'5". I mean,
no, he's like
5'5".
oh, he is.
Yeah, he's tall.
I mean, I saw him stand next to Tom.
You're thinking of Tom Cruise, man.
Tom
You'd
Cruise
like
up wearing some lifts.
He would like the newest issue of what was it? X-Force or X-Men? One with Wolverine in the hot tub. You didn't read that one yet?
I don't think I did.
Was he hot tub with Wolverine?
Nice little scene in the hot tub with Wolverine at the end.
Why do you like that?
Oh, I don't know.
He's all ripped muscles.
Yeah.
I've got so many problems with the current run of X-Men. I won't get into it.
It's definitely. I don't know. I'm not a kid, but I still wouldn't get it. I don't know. It's like, leave it at the door, pal.
All right, so we'll get into our main topic for today, and when I say topic on this show, that just means gives us something to chat about. It's not anything we.
And the reason to show off some books.
Yeah, that's it. Have a little fun, talk about books, have something to talk about.
Your chair reminds me of this car.
My chair,
man.
Yeah, I used to have that.
Your chair.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
I love that.
It's not always about you, Jamie.
We went to a comic book store last week and we put a video about it, and I was like, I remember having this little toy Venom car when I was a kid, and I started driving it on the floor.
Yeah, I love the old Marvel.
Wait a second.
It was
Did you say
Venom.
when you were a kid?
When I was younger, I went to
That's
a
Take that van out.
Door
That
van.
van. Who wouldn't want that van in real life?
Why is the never mind?
Well, if you watch a lot of our old videos, Will was always saying when I was a kid.
talking
and
about
I'm not saying he's 15.
You can't really see it. This is a Captain America Firebird.
Yeah, I had that one too. I had that one and the Spider-Man car, and I probably still have them at my parents', and they're probably in the same condition.
Mine are all beat up. I have the funny car, the Human Torch funny car.
All mine are all smashed. I used to try to change the engines and all that kind of stuff.
Did you ever play Demo Derby with them?
Oh yeah.
I used to have the Corgi Batmobile that had the Batarang or the Bat-Ram that came out, and I would just sit there. It was brutal, man.
Yeah.
well, my brother when he plays action figures, he hits them together so hard that their head breaks off, or like an arm falls off. He just like whacks them on the floor.
Will used to have a really good collection of all the Ben 10 figures that are pretty pricey now, and
Are they?
Ben got to them and they're just like missing legs, missing arms.
Guys are worth money.
Oh yeah, they had from like the Alien Force and the original Ben 10. Yeah.
Oh wow, I have a bunch of those upstairs and packaging. I didn't know.
Yeah. If they're still in the packages, you find them like on Amazon stuff for $40, $45.
Good, I get a new car.
Yeah.
All right. Well, our main topic for today is going to be overlooked cheap comics. Now, so what defines a cheap comic? I'm talking about when we go to a comic book show, or some stores will have like dollar bins, or if you're just poking around on eBay, you want to find something. I'm talking about stuff that can be found either in dollar bins, or if it's a group of comics or something like that, can be found on eBay for 15 or 20 bucks, maybe maxing out at about $25 shipped. Is that Adventure People?
Yep, Fisher Price Adventure People.
I know Adventure People.
It's the X-Ray Man. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
So I'll show the first book, or the first set of books that kind of inspired this topic, and this is one that I've mentioned a couple times before, but I'll do it again because I just finished reading it again. This is nasty glare. I got it. So this is Cosmic Odyssey.
Don't touch it.
Al didn't like it. Oh, he didn't. So Cosmic Odyssey was written by Jim Starlin with art by Mike Mignola in his pre-Hellboy days. So this is early Mike Mignola work. This came out in 1988. I know that because originally the topic was going to be cheap books from the 90s, and then I changed it because these didn't qualify. So the story in this is essentially the Justice League-ish, because they don't use Wonder Woman, or do they? No, and instead they use Starfire from the Teen Titans. But it's a mix of DC heroes. They use John Stewart, Green Lantern, in lieu of Hal Jordan.
That's so he can kill a whole planet.
Spoilers.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, the
It's 30 years old, pal. Get over it. 30 years.
The stakes are pretty high in this book, where the heroes are actually teaming up with Darkseid and some of the new gods there to counter the anti-life equation. And they break the heroes up into several teams, and so they have to go and take out these machines where the anti-life is going to come into our universe. And the stakes are high. So yeah, if you're a fan of John Stewart, it's a book that is very influential on his kind of overall storyline. And I'm surprised this series doesn't get talked about more than it does, because
Didn't you just say he killed him off?
they didn't kill him off. Okay, so each team of heroes is put in charge of defending a planet,
Mhm.
and Jon Stewart fails in that. So,
But he's very he has a lot of hubris throughout until that happens, and then he's all like cocky, like yeah, I can do it, and then he messes up, and then he's like, what the heck?
yeah.
I'm the top. We go boom boom.
So generally, only old collectors like me and maybe Seawood might have this. But this can be found. You can get all 15 or all 4 issues for about $15. So it's real
Or
affordable.
you just get the graphic novel.
What's that?
Just get the graphic novel.
It's well, if you get the single issues on eBay, it's cheaper than the graphic novel.
Well, that's also prestige format. That's not like floppy.
Yeah, they're 48 pages each, and they were originally cover priced at $3.50.
Oh,
Nice.
So,
Well,
nice. Yeah, back then.
these days they'd be $7 or $8 comics.
right.
All right, so Al, did you pull out any books?
I do. I got a couple books.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, so one's a graphic novel, but I'll get with the comic. Okay, so I don't know if you guys remember me always blabbering about Rakido. Okay, I don't have all of them, but the one that got now. The cool thing I always liked about these is that it had regular comic cover, but then to read the book, you have to turn it on its side, like so. And I think it was a Disney guy, a guy that worked at Disney that did this stuff. And it's just crazy. It's not typical comic book art. And a lot of it kind of looks like maybe it's just breakdowns. That he was just like, that looks like Jamie. Anyway. and it's fun, and it's some of it confuses you, but I don't know. I've always dug it. It's always like tickled my fancy,
Mm-hmm.
And it's inspiring to me. I kind of want to do most of the stuff I've been doing lately is because of stuff like this. I mean, really, it's just strokes. It's not finished line. It's
It's got a little bit of that. I wouldn't even say Bruce Timm, but kind of a Darwin Cook kind of feel. But
yeah, I'm sure they come from the same. This guy was from Disney, and I mean, look at that. Look, this crazy stuff. And I never hear anything about this. I don't know, was it 12 issues or something? I only got 3, right? I got most of them. See, I'm a bad comic book owner, so I'll read it and maybe sometimes it'll this reminds me of when I was in school and the teacher will hold the book and then the dog gets bit in the face and it turns the page and it comes back and it's just happy. Anyway, so there you go. I mean, it's beautiful. Look at that.
It's really cool.
It's fun. It's very Terry and the Pirates type. Not that I've ever really read Terry and the Pirates. I just wanted to say that because everybody else does it. Anyway, but then for my graphic novel, I don't own the single issues. It is The Golden Age by James Robinson and Paul Smith of Leave It to Chance fame. I love Paul Smith. Always loved Paul Smith. He did a lot of Doctor Strange, and he did huge run on X-Men and Uncanny X-Men.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites.
This is kind of like the Watchmen of Golden Age DC. It's kind of a Watchmen book. It's Watchmen meets Manchurian Candidate. It's Justice Society meets Manchurian Candidate. So what this is basically it's like what All Star Squadron wanted to do, where it took all the properties that they got from Quality and they got from Charlton and all the other comic books that they ended up purchasing, DC, and they made a huge story on it. But this actually takes characters that are like, who is this dude? TNT and Dynamite? Who? And it takes them and uses them to where you're like, oh, that's pretty much like Watchmen. What Watchmen did, it took the Charlton characters and was like, well, I'm gonna, do something with them, kill them off, whatever. But this is what I feel don't get any prop or any love because it might be too close to Watchmen in a sense. But what book is it nowadays? Everybody's trying to do their Watchmen, right? But this is a book I say people should read. It's pretty cool. I mean, I dig it, and the way they give fitting ends to, instead of like dragging an old dog through the street, like, hey, here comes Jay Garrick. Even though Jay Garrick is on the cover, I don't think he's ever in the book besides in passing shots. He's not
a main character.
He's not a main character. Alan Scott's in there. Carter Hall's in there.
Are you telling me there's a character named Dynamite?
Yeah, they have a Dynamite.
Is he Dynamite?
No, but you can say it like that if you want. We get some J.J. Walker going, but it's a good. I suggest if you're gonna if you like Watchmen, look for Golden Age. Read this son of a gun, and it's mature. It's mature. It's not like, hey, I took my friend to the store and there's a lot of people getting whacked and there's Nazis in it. But it takes Manhunter, the original Manhunter, Paul Kirk, the one that ended up Walt Simonson took and put in like 70s like floofy outfits.
Mm-hmm.
Makes him awesome. I mean, he's just like he's the lone wolf in this, and he's like the guy he knows all the stuff, and 5 stars out of 20.
I agree. I've read it. I own it. That same edition.
This very book. I think this is yours. I took it. No.
Oh, I knew it.
Oh, it says Jamie Hood's property right here. Don't touch. I got your book, man. You gonna do about it, huh? Nothing about it. You ain't got your book.
Yeah, that was a real highly regarded storyline when it came out. I remember being out. You can't find back issues of that. Probably in dollar bins. I don't see them real commonly.
That's what I'm saying. I just think it's underrated. And that's
it is, and it's definitely one of the. Even in trade, it's one of those books you'll come across, and a lot of people pass over it because they don't know kind of what it is.
Yeah, and I think if you can pay $5 for a comic, a 22-page book on a dang shelf, you can pick this up and actually enjoy what you bought this time. So like, they have.
Do you remember how long it was? It was like 6 or 8 issues, wasn't it? Do you remember how many issues are in that volume?
I don't.
I think it was 6 or 8 or something like that. So here in the Kid, did you bring any books to the table that you think are a little bit overlooked?
Yeah.
Well, he told me get some books that you are sad that they're over. I didn't know we were doing this.
Oh, that's all right. Because, there's some books in there that not enough people were talking about. Like I grabbed one, especially because I knew we were coming on here and how much you're into the older comics. But, forgive us because, a lot of our collections, newer stuff. So the one that I really enjoy, and I've been putting it off reading the last issue, is Olympia. And it's kind of like a throwback to Jack Kirby, and it's kind of got like the Spielberg kind of feel to it when you looking at the pictures and all that kind of stuff and, the storyline. But it's about an writer that gets fired right before the end of his run. And the character, the boy's reading the comic book, and the main character comes crashing to Earth. And then the guy that gets fired is about to kill himself. And, right as he's about to do it, he gets a knock at the door. And it's the character that he drew, and he passes out. And then,
You don't have to describe 4 issues that fast. That was literally the 4th issue.
I'm not trying to ruin the whole thing, but I've been really putting it off reading the last issue on it.
What book was that again?
Olympia by Image Comics.
Huh.
Yeah.
So the first issue starts off showing the writer, the artist of this comic book.
Yes.
He created the character Olympia, so it shows him working on it, and then he gets a phone call that his thing got canceled. So he goes to the bar and starts drinking everything, and then it cuts to the kid going to the comic book store to purchase the Olympia comic book. He gets it, and then he's reading it. He really enjoys it, and then he gets to the last page, and it says it's like canceled, and he's like, "No, it can't be." So he goes to the writer's house, and then just like he comes falling down to Earth, and he's like here, and then he also brings down the villain, the opposer, and then they have a huge fight in the lab. Oh,
yeah.
I forgot you didn't read it.
And now you found the brains.
It's one of my favorite like series this year. It's like one of my favorite books.
Yeah.
So how many issues? You said that's the fourth issue. About 5 issues.
This is the 5th. Yeah.
Okay. So is it a mini series or is it ongoing? Do you know?
I'm pretty sure it's just a mini series.
Okay.
So yeah. That's why I haven't read the issue. I've really enjoyed it, and it's just one of those things I've been putting off. So
okay, cool.
And then you can talk about yours, the one that you were going to talk about.
All right. I think Bueller is the only one I've heard talk about this one. It's Midnight Vista. It's about this kid who was younger and he got abducted by aliens when his uncle took him to go to a gas station to get some food.
It was sort of loosely based on a true story.
Yeah.
About the kid getting abducted, then turning up years later.
Yeah, he appeared years later on in a hospital, and then he didn't really remember what happened. And then 2 aliens came down from space. They could transform into people, so they were looking for him. And then the mom is trying to protect the kid, but the kid is like, no, I have to go back. It's the greatest place. But the mom's not letting him. But he's like, it was an awesome experience, and he's just trying to go all the way back to with the aliens when he was as a little kid. But it's just a series that I haven't heard a lot of people talking about, and it's really good read.
Very cool.
So he wanted to get back with the aliens, huh?
Yes.
Smart kid. Come back here. Oh, what's on Earth? You know what? We got flying cars and stuff. I go.
I don't want to come during Corona.
Go.
All right, Coach Vic's got a book.
You see, I hold a blank book because I forgot my book at home.
Oh.
but this book actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think you're the only person I've heard talk about this book, Sean, and I love it. It's a Bible Ablaze. Never even heard of Ablaze, but my LCS has to order the books for me each time because I keep forgetting to tell them just put it on the list. But it's kids.
Oh yeah.
And I after the first book, I was like, I don't know, because I don't need to read the F word 5,000 times in 3 pages. But I tell you what, that book is just entertaining. I guess these kids are in a zombie zombie land. They're being attacked by zombies, and they're just surviving. They have a little group of kids, and they go kill zombies and raid houses. It's entertaining because they also do a backstory. I mean, I've only got through the first 2 issues because I'm waiting for the 3rd and 4th ones to arrive. But I've been thoroughly entertained by it, and I was really surprised. I was like, well, let me see this, because I got the first 2. I'm like, I love it. I love it.
Also, what I love about that book is the covers on it. They do homages to movies and other comic books. They did a Goonies one, a Jaws. The
recent one was Stranger Things.
Zombieland Double Tap or something like that.
Now I have to pay attention to the covers.
Yeah.
But I've thoroughly enjoyed those books.
Very cool. So I've got a couple other titles I'll throw out there. These are also what I call consider oldies but goodies. It can be found in dollar bins or cheap lots on eBay. So if anyone is a Lobo or not Lobo, is a Deadpool fan, and you're not familiar with Lobo, Lobo's kind of the OG Deadpool.
OG.
So this was the first Lobo miniseries. It was done by Alan Grant, Keith Giffen were the writers, and Simon Bisley did the art. And this guy holds a special place with me because the art was very influential to me during my college years. Here, make myself big. So that's a lot of people know that cover. It's kind of iconic.
Yeah, I've seen it.
So the whole story of Lobo is he's what they call a Zarnian. That's like his race, and he's the last one. He's the last Zarnian because he killed everyone else. Well, as it turns out in this miniseries, he finds out that he's the second to the last because this old biddy over here is kind of one that got away. So, Lobo has this code where it's like he's a bounty hunter, and once he takes a job, he's going to complete it. It doesn't matter what the circumstances are. He's going to finish the job he's hired to do. In this case, he's hired to bring in this last Zarnian that he missed. So he's kind of two minds about it. He's mad that he missed one of his race that he didn't kill them all, but he's contracted to bring her in alive. So
where'd you get these books? I noticed that down here instead of Spider-Man or DC, Batman or somebody, they have the names of the artists here.
Yeah, those would have been direct editions. Okay. So it would have been UPCs. I don't even know that was even ever out in a grocery store or anything. So I don't know why they would even bother. I guess they put the boxes on every comic regardless. And this is the other series I'll mention. This is the second volume of New Teen Titans.
That's the Baxter series.
Right. So they call it the Baxter series because it had higher production value. It wasn't printed on newsprint like the other series was. It's printed on a higher grade, wider, thicker paper. So it's got better color reproduction, better line art. You paid a little bit more for it too, and this was only available in the direct market. This is one of the very first ventures into direct market where here we do not have a barcode because it was never going to be sold anywhere. Barcodes were required. So this is work by George Perez, that was the artist, and Marv Wolfman was the writer. And these books are pre-crisis, but just by barely. I think by issue 10 or 12, they were involved in Crisis on Infinite Earths. So, but these, being that this was more of a direct market, they took the story, I want to say darker, but a little bit more adult. Like you had things like they get an alert and everybody's popping out of bed, everybody's asleep. Well, Nightwing and Firestar pop out of the same bed. So you can only assume what they're doing.
Sleeping?
Well, they were asleep. They woke up. But that's a series of books that seem to get lost in the wash when it comes to New Teen Titans. And it's they battle Trigon, which is Raven's father, for 5 issues. And I think if they ever get around to doing a movie, I haven't watched the Titans mini or TV series yet to see like what the big bad was in that. But
who is this?
This her?
Yeah.
Wonder Girl.
I've never heard of Wonder Girl.
She was Wonder Woman.
I guess they're just taking many out of everybody, don't they?
Well, the original concept for Teen Titans was it was all the sidekicks got together. So you had Robin and Kid Flash and Wonder Girl and Aqualad were the 4 original.
Okay.
Because they were all the sidekicks, and they brought in Speedy, who was Green Lantern's sidekick eventually.
Yes, and I didn't know that. It's a trick question.
Okay.
Because you would think he would be the Flash's sidekick.
True.
Don't forget to pick up Hammer the Gods, Winter of Woe. Still available. Art by Alan Schell.
You get commission on this book?
Oh, you get to work out there.
Ooh, look at that cool artwork. I'm telling you, it looks like an old cartoon. Lost cartoon. Look at this beauty.
So this is the book that you worked on. You did all the character art and stuff in that. And then
yeah, Sam Royal, who did the comic earlier, he colored it.
Right.
So be on the lookout.
Hey, metaphorical.
So Hoosier, fellow Hoosier, rather. Not to be confused with.
So Will and Sean, anything you guys want to talk about? We're just like, burr, 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 burr.
Right. No, it's totally fine. Like I said before, I'm always tuning in. Usually have it in the background, or I got it in my headphones when I'm out. So yeah, I just enjoy listening and talk and your humor and picking on Jamie half the time.
Someone's actually listening. That's surprising. I think when I'm off the show, when I watch the shows with Coach and Vic, or Coach and Hood, I'm like, these guys are a good team. I need to leave them alone.
Right.
But now that Sean says it, you can't get rid of me.
Well, I've joked several times that I need school to start back up so you guys can stop doing the shows that I want to do.
Yeah.
Because I like to do everything you guys do.
It seems like it's going to be a while before school starts back up.
You got that right. Even up where you are?
Yeah.
It seems like that's not a busy...
They've been talking about, pushing it back or doing every other day, and it's just...
Every other day? That's miserable.
Yeah.
On the teachers and the kids, students.
This is getting away from comics, but in our area, like you go from school zone or school district to district, and each one's got a different plan.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, so, like
I work for, they're starting in August.
Yeah, they're all going to start, but whether
there's already a football team that the coach you had tested positive, so they're like, all right, no more football for a while. Anyways, comic books.
Yes.
Well, we can wrap this up. I think we've had a good discussion. It's good to have you guys on.
Yeah. Nice to get us sweating in the trivia.
Yeah. Break you over the coals a little bit.
Right. Just a little bit.
But we look forward to coming on your show. We'll plan that sometime soon, probably in August.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And we're looking forward to that.
What's happening?
You guys get to sit back for Will's questioning.
Yep.
You guys have anything coming up in your show?
Just tomorrow, interviewing Lost in Comics.
Yeah.
And then
they just had a really good interview with the Rodney Barnes from Philadelphia.
Yep.
And he was saying about the movies that he's worked on, and what was it, Green Mile that he worked on?
Green Mile.
Yeah, he got to meet Stephen King and that whole thing. It was pretty interesting. Yeah.
Michael Clark Duncan
worked with a little bit.
Yeah.
See, Will and Sean are doing a better job of doing what I planned to do, which was I'm people that knows a few other people that are more interesting than me, like Al and Victor. But I also know, like, one of my friends from college works in animation. So I want to have him come on the show. And he said he's willing to do it. It's just working out the timing.
We've been doing jiu-jitsu for quite a while. And there's a thing that's called Black Belts for Butterflies. And it's a big charity event. And they're friends with another black belt who is an artist for Marvel, and they're gonna try to make that happen with Will for one of his interviews.
Nice,
very cool.
Gotta break some bricks.
Yeah.
Head.
And I just know sports people. I mean, if they're for the sports channel, it'd be off the charts. But
why don't you do that?
Sports people reading comic books.
Yeah, we're trying to bring in some sport people and stuff that it's comic book related and kind of keep it into that, but trying to open up the field a bit more. So,
Sure.
I think you'll find that it's not as far away as people think. Like, sports people don't read comic books. It's like, no, they probably read comic books.
I think Lance Briggs, I think he's a linebacker for the Bears. He wrote a book, and actually, I think the show that Scotty Young used to do, they interviewed him for that about that.
Around comics. Yeah, I mean, guys like John Randall, he used to put Batman face paint on when he went out. Of course, I'm old, so I know who John Randall is and one of those things.
I know who he was. Defensive end for the Vikings
and Seahawks.
and Seahawks.
Yeah. I heard they were getting Mike Tyson for Wolverine. Is that true?
Very little talking.
They've got to find somebody.
What I do ain't pretty.
Yeah, they got to find somebody else to do the voice then.
Nah, he'd be perfect. Mike Tyson. Let's get that up, man. Let's get the petition going. Mike Tyson, Wolverine. Logan.
He is 5'8".
We'll start the rumor here.
Right.
Yeah, man.
When it happens, we credit.
They can't get anybody else that's going to be good. So good. No one's better than Tyson, man. You bite Sabretooth's ear off. It'd be great, man. What are you going to do about it, Cyclops? I'm going to take your woman. Started beating up Cyclops.
Play Phil Collins like they did in the Hangover.
Yeah. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Love him. He was just on the wrestling show. He was great. So I'm all for Mike Tyson as Wolverine. You heard it here first, folks. Mike Tyson for Wolverine and president.
And I'm always trying to get black people jobs, but no.
Man, what are you keeping them down for?
No.
Keeping down Mike Tyson as Wolverine.
And he's busy. He has like 3 shows on TV. Mike Tyson's Mysteries.
Well, he's famous then. Then he'll bring a lot of people to the theater. What?
All right.
What's wrong with that? You guys, after this, you're gonna be thinking, you know what, Mike, that's pretty good. It's gonna be in your brain. It's like a worm, like that worm from Star Trek 2 getting your ear and take it over, man. You're gonna be screaming Khan later. Khan! Tyson!
All right, so I'll be on Raiders Notes on Thursday.
Woo-hoo. The champ is here.
Yeah.
The champ is here.
I'll have my copy of my book, though.
What book?
Wildcats 21. It's not there.
Are you
So
gonna
we'll be talking about Wildcats 21. I regret the decision that I made about that book. I wish I'd picked something else.
Yeah.
But we'll have fun talking about it anyway. Chopping it up with those guys. But we'll wrap this episode up. Thanks for stopping in, everybody. Thanks for Will and Sean, Hero and the Kid. Thanks for joining us this morning. Thanks as always for coming along, Alan, for
Mike
adding
Tyson?
personality to the show that we need. Thanks for being here, Coach Vic. We'll see you next time. Remember, faith, family, comic books. We'll see you next time, guys.
Still going.
Still